Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning, Mary's going to start with our weather and water, and then after, we have some hiker rescues and news and other things going on around the world. So let's talk about them. All right?
Thank you, Donald. Good morning, everyone. Right now in Blairsville, it's 67 degrees and cloudy. We do have a flood watch today until 8 p.m. We're looking at a high of 80, partly cloudy with afternoon showers or thunderstorms. The winds will be light and variable with a 60% chance of rain. And then tonight, rain showers with mostly cloudy conditions overnight. Light and variable winds with 60% chance of rain again. So for Blood Mountain today, we're looking at a flood watch also until 8 p.m. 72 degrees and a temperature for the day dropping to 68 this afternoon. Excuse me. Mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. 5-mile-per-hour winds and a 50% chance of rain. Then tonight, 61 with a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 10 p.m. and mostly cloudy, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds and a 50% chance of rain. All right, so water's good for the most part on the trail. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter. If you're hiking north, you have 6.2 miles until you reach Justice Creek, where you'll be able to resupply on water again. Also, Slaughter Creek has had water. Make sure you get some water there or before, as Blood Mountain is dry. And then when you get to Neil Gap, make sure you're topping off with some water there. You do have from Neil Gap to Hogpen Gap where it's dry. Also, the Hogpen Gap water source is dry. Watch for snakes on the trail, of course. It's that time of year. They're out in the sunshine on rocks and logs and stumps and everywhere, stretching across the trail also. Remember the Cow Rock, which is 5 miles north of Neil Gap, that has that copperhead nest up in there. So US 441 Newfound Gap Road up in the Smokies is currently closed from Sugarlands to Newfound Gap due to the landslide that happened a couple days back. The road is open on the North Carolina side between Cherokee and Newfound Gap. All right, Great Smoky Mountain National Park bear information. All shelters are open. The closed campsites are 23 and 96, and the warnings are Charlie's Bunyan. And let's always remember, no matter where we are, leave no trace. If you brought it in, bring it out. And then the proper storage and proper trash disposal also, no matter where you are. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Donald now, and he's going to go over some other stuff that we have going on out here and around.
All
Donald?
right, sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see what Mary has going on today. Oh, I read this one. This is an interesting one. All right, so first rescue is a 14-year-old boy that was hiking with, it looks like a group of people. Did you read the article
Yeah,
fully?
it was a hiking, or
Boy Scout
I don't
group
know
or
if it was
something?
Boy
No, it was a
Scouts, but it was a
camp or
camp.
yeah. And so you know those camps that kids go to like during the summer, maybe they do a month or a week or whatever it was. I'm sure some of you have been there.
Yep.
But when we were kids and stuff, man. So this 14-year-old hiker goes out on a hike with a group. And so let's start like this. New York State Forest Rangers on July 29th scrambled to rescue a 14-year-old hiker who was undergoing hypothermia, a form of heat stroke, after climbing Dial and Nippletop Mountains in the Adirondack High Peaks in nearly 90-degree weather. The young man, who was with a group from Camp Chingachgook on Lake George, started lapsing in and out of consciousness after the hike. Counselors led the group to their overnight campsite near Elk Pass at the base of the mountains and called 911 at 6:46-ish p.m. Due to the spotty cell service, the counselor had to constantly move around to get a signal. Those on scene helped hydrate the youth and told counselors to keep him in the shade and aggressively cool him down with water. Realizing the urgency of the situation, DEC called in the state police helicopter. They had to move quick with darkness coming in, and they dropped 2 rangers in a swamp near the campers. The rangers carried him through the swamp, which was waist deep with water and mud at times. The helicopter carried him to an ambulance that brought him to the hospital, where he made a full recovery. Ranger Logan Quinn suggested the rest of the campers spend the night and hike it out in the mornings. in the morning. The youth were fatigued from a full day of hiking and did not have enough headlamps for all the hikers or all the kids that were there, or for everyone for the group. And so they were definitely lacking the items needed to hike with. Resources were clear at 8:43 p.m. All right, and so in Phoenix, a rescue has happened, and it is from the Camelback Mountain area on Tuesday. So I read this one, man. This dude was hiking on a closed trail, and a bystander saw this dude fall. So I'm going to read the article, but that means that he was up there and he wasn't supposed to be. And then there's a bystander that saw him fall that was up there that shouldn't have been up there too. So, all right. And so in Phoenix, we have a rescue of a hiker and they are in critical condition after being rescued from Camelback Mountain on Tuesday. Rescue crews responded to Cholla Trailhead August 5th around 11 a.m. for reports of a hiker who suffered a ground level fall and was experiencing heat-related issues. Active cooling measures with the ice immersion bag were used to help the hiker to cool the hiker down. The injured hiker was carried down the mountain using a big wheel stretcher. The hiker was then transported to a hospital in critical condition. No firefighters were injured in the rescue. According to the city of Phoenix, on days when the extreme heat warning is in effect, the following trails are restricted from 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Camelback Mountain Preserve, Echo Canyon, and Cholla Trail. Phoenix Mountain Preserve, the Pastua Peak Summit Trail and associated trails. South Mountain Peak and Preserve, Holbert Trail, Mormon Trail, Haupal Luke Trail, and access to the National Trail from the Pima Canyon Trailhead. These trails are closed, restricted for safety in extreme temperature weather. And so, these cats were out there on the trail when it's closed, but and then they're risking everyone else's life because they got to go in there and carry this person out, and I just, that's too bad. All right, yeah, man. And so we also have a missing hiker. I actually posted an article, I think last night, on this dude. And a hiker, so I'm going to start off like this. A hiker has been missing for a week in Wyoming after last texting his wife he had reached the top of the mountain, deputies said. Grant Gardner was last heard from at about 7 p.m. July 29th on Cloud Peak, the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office said on August 4th. In an August 4th news release. The Minnesota man had planned a 3-day trek in Misty Moon Lake area, deputies said. Once he reached the top of the mountain, he texted his wife he was tired and the climb was more taxing than he expected, deputies said. But Gardner never returned home. Authorities found his vehicle parked at West 10 Sleep Trailhead and his name was written in a hiking log, deputies said. Authorities also looked at his cell phone records, which confirmed he reached the summit at 7 p.m. July 29th, deputies said. It appeared he was headed down to lower elevation for the night. However, search teams were worried he summited the mountain so late at night, deputies said. The late summit of 7 p.m. at 13,000 feet was and is concerning due to the lack of visible trails through cliffs, timberline, boulder fields, and other hazards that had to be navigated after dark before reaching clear trails and safe terrain, the sheriff's office said in an August 5th post. Multiple agencies have scoured the wilderness area for Gardner by foot and by air. It should be noted conditions are extreme and very challenging. At least 2 rescuers have suffered medical conditions, deputies said. As of Monday, August 4th, teams continued to look for Gardner using forward-looking infrared radar tracking cameras as storms rolled into the area. Cloud Peak is northern Wyoming. Wow. It looks rugged.
It sure does.
Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. And so, well, I hope that he is found safe. That's really sad.
It sure is.
All right, and so we have a hiker found dead after falling near Hana Highway waterfall. Let's see. Hold on, guys. I apologize. I'm gonna go back. All right, and so I can't find the article now, but definitely there's some crazy stuff going on out here, man. And so we've had some great weather here in Georgia, man. It's been gorgeous. I mean, 60-degree mornings, man, with 70-degree days. It's been dry, wet, but it is perfect hiking weather in my opinion.
And right now, you know, town's going to be 80 today, which isn't bad at all. And then when you get out on the trail, it's going to be even lower. So,
Yeah,
like
right?
I said, it is very good hiking.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out, man. This is a perfect time to come out and bust some miles off.
Definitely.
All right, guys. We're picking up a
Amtrak going to
Amtrak?
Calola today.
Okay. Are they doing a short hike and then heading home, or?
You know, I'm going to have this conversation with them when I pick them up because I'm curious about that. I know
Maybe they're flip-flopping.
That's what I was wondering. I know in the text that they sent me last night when I confirmed everything, they said they were super excited to get here. So they're either starting and can't wait, or they are, you know, flipping and getting close to their
And
ending point. So either way, so.
I had a southbounder call or text the other night, and they're wanting a ride back from Amicalola to the airport, I think it is, man. But they'll be texting us soon. I didn't ask where they were, but they're definitely coming down through, and we should be seeing more, maybe flip-floppers or you know, just more people getting ready to flip-flop.
It's August, it's right about that time. You know.
Usually with southbounders, we don't see them till about November, December. So, or maybe even later, sometimes January, February, just depends. All right, I think that's it for today. Jordan's going to be at the crossings working, and I will be here manning the phones and doing my thing. And so if anyone needs anything at all, give us a jingle, man. All right, one love. Peace, guys.